Plan a budget-friendly trip with these money-saving tips. With the National Park Service's centennial rapidly approaching in August, now is a smart time to hit the trails and explore our country's greatest national treasures. To mark the National Park Service's 100th anniversary, visitors can enjoy free admission and special recreational and ranger-led activities in 59 national parks from August 25 to 28. Still, limited campsite availability and peak season crowds, more than 300 million people visited the parks in 2015, are just a couple of obstacles for a great trip at this time of year. We sought guidance from travel experts to get their tricks for planning a cost-effective and rewarding park trip. iStock.photo. Participate in ranger-led programs. To honor the centennial, the National Park Service will offer a variety of complimentary ranger-led activities. With these programs you can learn many things about the parks, such as how they are affected by climate change, says Ford Cochran, Director of Programming for National Geographic Expeditions. Prior to your visit, you can look for upcoming events and ranger-led activities on the National Park Service's website. Everett Potter, a columnist for USA Today and author of Everett Potter's Travel Report, also recommends joining hands-on, ranger-led tours, recalling a memorable ranger-led hike through Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, where visitors could take in striking views and learn about geology and Hawaiian culture, among other topics. Lend a hand. Volunteer opportunities include everything from assisting with eliminating exotic plant species and monitoring water quality in Isle Royale National Park to serving as a campground host in Tahoe National Forest. In return for your time and energy, the National Park Service in many cases will provide volunteers with free meals and lodging, Cochran says. After completing 250 service hours with a federal agency division that participates in the Interagency Pass program, such as the U.S. Forest Service and the Bureau of Land Management, you can receive a volunteer pass, which grants free admission to all national parks. Camp outside the parks. The thing about the national parks is the campsites book up way in advance, Potter says. While camping at a distance doesn't offer the same experience, it's a way in, he says. Potter recommends finding the right camping area for your needs with the campground search site thedirt.com. It's like a trip advisor for campgrounds, he says, pointing to the site's abundant user reviews and submitted campground photos. When you're ready to book, Cochran recommends using Campgrounds of America, which offers more than 486 campgrounds across all 50 states. Plus, Cochran notes that it's these places that will create indelible memories, like nighttime strolls around burning campfires. Pack snacks. An easy way to slash costs on your park trip is by bringing along plenty of food, says Abigail Wise, engagement editor at Outside. Not only will you end up saving major cash, you'll also be eating healthy food to better fuel your outdoor adventures, she says. While you can take advantage of 500 National Park Service concession stations across the parks, keep in mind in popular places, like Yellowstone National Park, there are only a few food service options in remote locations, translating to higher costs. With reusable water bottle and plenty of nutritious food for grilling or picnics, trimming down meal costs for families and larger groups is a breeze. Hit the road. To maximize savings when traveling with a group, pack the car and go for a drive, Cochran says. If you can't find a place to stay within the park, don't despair, Cochran adds, pointing out that you can almost always find a place within an easy drive. He suggests making a loop to see diverse landscapes, such as the Black Hills and Badlands in South Dakota. If you can squeeze in a few extra days off work, he suggests renting an affordable pop-up camper, noting that you can take it everywhere, and it serves as a home away from home. Wise also suggests driving, highlighting a route from Utah to Arizona that hits 6 parks. Look for accommodations away from the parks. There are all kinds of different places to stay, Cochran says. He suggests pitching a tent or booking a stay in communities around Yellowstone, such as Gardner, Montana, for more availability and lower rates. Staying outside the park is certainly one way to pay a little less, Potter says. In West Yellowstone, you can find cost-effective choices in the small gateway town to Yellowstone, he says. And at Acadia National Park, though you'll pay a high price to stay in popular Bar Harbor, Maine, there are budget-friendly bed and breakfasts in the nearby town of Deer Isle, Potter notes. Even better, you'll pay a fraction of the cost to go out for dinner in these spots, he adds. Invest in a park pass. One of the great things about the parks is that they are for everyone in our country, Cochran says, pointing out that for a nominal fee for the annual pass, costs throughout the year are manageable. Wise also notes that annual passes only cost $80 and typically entrance fees can be around $25, so it's worthwhile to buy a pass if you're visiting more than a few times per year. You can also cut costs by visiting off-the-beaten-track parks with lower admission rates. The Great Sand Dunes in Colorado are super fun. Mountains meet river meet giant sand dunes, and the entrance fee is only a few bucks, Wise says.